started this program late. At this moment, I would like to invite Reverend Kafui Ajuro from the Lighthouse Chapel International to give us the opening prayer. A round of applause and welcome, Reverend. Thank you. Shall we please rise to our feet for a word of prayer? Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this morning. Your word tells us that I sleep and I wake up because the Lord sustains me. We thank you, Lord, that because of your mercies we are not consumed. Lord, we commit this program into your hands. Spirit of God, we invite you to come and take control. We pray for wisdom and your guidance and your presence. In the name of Jesus, we pray that may you give us wisdom to be able to support and help our fellow brothers and sisters who are mentally challenged. That, Lord, at the end of this program, they will receive hope and comfort. We thank you, Father. We bless you. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you so much, Reverend. My name is Elvis Ekuamo. I work with Pantan Hospital as Head of Communications, and I'm going to be your MC for this very special occasion. At this moment, I would like to help me welcome with a round of applause, Beatrice Datsin, who is the Administrator and Communication Lead for Friends of Mental Health. A round of applause as well.
Good morning, distinguished guests. This is an extraordinary occasion because we have a double portion blessing from the Creator of the universe. We are blessed this morning to have one of Ghana's distinguished sons of the soil. He is one of Ghana's finest Islamic scholars. He was educated in a government school in a twin city, Takoradi, before attending one of the several teacher training colleges that sprang up during Ghana's first republic. He attended the University of Ghana, where he graduated with a bachelor's degree in religious studies. He has been an active member of the Ghana Education Service, Islamic Education Unit, since the 1980s. He is known nationwide for his understanding, hard work, and dedication to whatever task he is given. He is currently the spokesperson for the National Chief Imam. He is no other person than the Islamic scholar, Sheikh Amiriyal Shaibu, our chairperson. Please let's welcome him to the lecture.
Thank you very much for those nice words. Let me begin on a note of appreciation and thanks to the CEO and staff of the Friends of Mental Health for the opportunity to co-chair this very important and august occasion. Mental health is something that is so crucial for us, even for our health as a nation. In my family, I have lived with someone with mental health challenge. And some of the things that I went through was that I had to live with that person in the same room during the initial stage of his mental challenge. My experience was that of fear and worry. There are times I have attempted to correct things in the room and he has reacted. Sometimes when I'm asleep and he enters the room, I don't feel secure. I thought something could happen to me. There are times I have refused to sleep in the same room with him just because I did not know what could happen to me. I'm sure many of us might have also had similar experiences in our lives before. Health has different dimensions, but mental health is very, very important for our functioning. If you lose your mind, you will not be able to function. in all dimensions of your life. As we walk by the street, see people with mental challenge. Just yesterday, about 2 days ago, I was delivering a sermon, and I made reference to somebody who was mentally challenged. A very calm person, looking very gentle like me, wearing some nice apparel up and down, mentally challenged. He is a non-aggressive type. So he walks to every car that came to the traffic light, and they just made a sign, this. So if you cared, you gave him something. If you did not care, you drove past him. I asked myself, what is it that makes me different from this man? He had 2 eyes, I have 2 eyes. I have a mouth, he has a mouth. 2 hands, 2 limbs, he has the same. What is the difference? Just because of his mental health. And I know how we stigmatize people with mental health in this country. And that is the extent of the logic that we extend. How we stigmatize people with mental health is the reflection of how we also disregard our mental health institutions. As I flicked through this, I also felt sad that even as a nation, those who hold authority do not care so much. 60 years of independence, our mental health institutions are not in good shape. It's a shame, it's a worry, and it must worry all of us. This thing we are in is a matter of ethics, a matter of morality, a matter of the hope that we can give to the hopeless in our societies. As a religious nation, what is the use of our being religious if even such people who sometimes have come from our own families, we are unable to give them hope? I think that we are not doing much. And that is why I feel excited, not for the dignity associated with being a chair, but just for the care that we all have to look at one dimension of our human community that needs our help and support. So thank you so much for this great honor, and I hope that you accord me your cooperation so we can have a very wonderful lunch of this very noble venture, Friends of Mental Health. Thank you so much.
Let's do it again for our chairman. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I would like to introduce dignitaries amongst us. Thank you. In no particular order, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the following persons. Dr. Bah Odum, Ghana Psychological Council is here with us. Madam, thank you very much for coming. Mary Kalewu is DDNS in charge, Pantan Hospital, also here with us. Thank you for coming. Akusia Afuru, Ghana Technology University is here with us. Thank you very much for coming. Tracy La, First Atlantic Bank. I hope I got the name right. Tracy, thank you for coming. Yes. We have, can't see this well, Melchizedek Esando. Yes, the organization is not here. Also here with a round of applause. I'll give you the name. Stella Entry Bosiako, Nursing School colleague, or Ophthalmic Nursing School colleague, is here with us. Thank you very much. Charles Ejay, Deputy Director Administration, Pantan Hospital, is also here with us. Thank you, sir, for coming. Farouk Hamza, Ghana Revenue Authority. Thank you very much for coming. When I see I hear revenue, I'm excited. Hani Salem, UBITI Finance and Investment. Carter, thank you very much, sir, for coming. We have Mr. Kweku Brube, Head of Communications Mental Health Authority with us. Thank you, sir. Owusu is CEO Kumasi Church Home as a rehab center, is here with us all the way from Kumasi. Show some love. Thank you, sir, for coming. Nandi N. Walker, CWC, is here with us. CWC means
Oh, corporate wellness consultancy. Yes, thank you so much, madam, for coming. We have Reverend Kofi Ejuru from Lighthouse Chapel International. Thank you, Reverend. Sheikh, okay, has been introduced already, our chairperson. I need to, Mr. and Mrs. Amuisi Ando from ILO. They are here, Mr. and Mrs. Thank you so much. Grateful for your presence. Dr. J.M. Onuma, University of Ghana Business School, Legon. Thank you, sir, for coming. Robert Morrison and Associates is here with us. Mr. Herbert Morrison, sorry. Herbert Morrison, sorry. Let me get it again. Mr. Herbert Morrison and Associates is here with us. Yeah. Dr. Cynthia Suti, Ghana Health Service is here with us. Thank you, Doctor, for coming. Jane Anaman. I see Agribis Limited. Thank you very much for coming. I'm sorry, I wasn't getting it right. Daniel Osei from Ministry of Health. Daniel, thank you, Mr. Daniel Osei. Thank you for coming. I have the last list here. Dr. Caroline Emisa is Deputy Chief Executive Mental Health Authority here with us. Thank you for coming. Dr. McNarty, Max Dental Clinic. Thank you, Doctor, for coming. Nana Kunedu A. Bumsu, Metropolitan Finance, Faculty of Law, Gimpa, is here with us. Faculty of Law, Gimpa. Okay. Sandra Thompson, Faculty of Law, Gimpa, is also here with us. Thank you very much for coming. Mohammed Sanu, Law Group and Co. Is a lawyer. Thank you, Council, for coming. Thank you so much. Abdul Rahim Salisu Ango, clinical psychologist. Thank you, sir, for coming. Thank you so much. Right. And I'm here to round of applause for me. At this moment, we would like to, with a round of applause, invite Dr. Nana Okesi Esando, CEO, Friends of Mental Health Authority, to come and give us a speech. A round of applause as we welcome.
Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I'll never forget the day I tuned into Star FM and listened to Dr. Akwesi Osei narrating the plight of mental health facilities in this country to morning show host Francis Alban. Dr. Osei pointed out the lack of resources the facilities face, as well as the daily struggle to feed and ensure patients receive the required medicines. It struck me as he spoke that the situation could happen to anyone in any family. Mental health disorders are not different from ailments that afflict the body physically. So why the stigma and discrimination against victims and their families, and why was there a lack of financial support to ensure that the facilities run efficiently? My curiosity was pricked, and I decided to do some research into Ghana's mental health care delivery. My findings shocked me to the bone. For approximately 28 million citizens, there are only 3 state-run institutions: Panta, Ankafo, and Accra psychiatric hospitals. All of them are situated in the southern sector, depriving a huge chunk of Ghanaians of accessible mental health care delivery. For those with access, there's only 1 psychiatrist for every 1.17 million citizens. Out of 28 million, 842,600 suffer from severe mental disorder, and further under 2808 suffer from moderate to mild disorder. The treatment gap currently stands at 98%. Ladies and gentlemen, let me repeat that the treatment gap is 98%. What this means is that there's almost 100% chance that someone suffering from mental disorder in this country will not be treated. And these are the recorded figures. After much prayer and discourse with men and women I respect and admire, we decided to form this organization, Friends of Mental Health, to do our part to ensure that this terrible state of affairs is confronted fiercely. We met with the relevant stakeholders and then went on tour of the facilities we have endeavored to help. Ladies and gentlemen, there are no words in English language yet to describe the current state of our mental health institutions. In fact, from Pantan to Ankafo to Accra Psychiatric Hospital, we arrived with excitement and left with despair. How could we, Ghanaians, who call ourselves loving and hospitable and caring people, abandon our loved ones to those deplorable conditions? Every one of the institutions had varying degrees of disrepair: leaking ceilings, poor ventilation, beds with no mattresses, and bathrooms and toilets that frankly are not good for human use. The most troubling part is the lack of adequate resources to purchase much needed medicines and basic logistics for the staff to use to take care of the patients. And let me take this opportunity right now to salute all staff of mental health facilities in the country. You are doing a fantastic job in spite of the lack of logistics. Everyone we met there was dedicated, passionate, and cared so much about the patient's welfare. To you, I say, Aiko. Friends of Mental Health has two ultimate aims: to advocate vigorously for greater national awareness on mental health issues, and two, to raise funds to improve mental health services in Ghana and eventually throughout African continent. We cannot do this alone. We are counting on all of you to help support us in cash or kind to assist our brothers and sisters. Hence our slogan: a healthy mind, a wealthy generation. For us to achieve this project, there is a need for integrity, accountability, and above all, trust. To ensure these tenets, we contacted some eminent and respectable personalities within and without Ghana to be a board of trustees and patron councils. We are therefore here today to inaugurate this board to ensure sanity in our management, especially in the financial administration, to give confidence to potential donors. I therefore wish to call upon our senior lawyer, Lawyer Mohammed B. Sanu, of the law firm called the Law Group, to come and administer the oath of office for this board, for the board of trustees. Lawyer, let's give him a hand. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you. I believe all the trustees are here and they have the oath of office in their hands. So we're going to simplify it, I'm just going to read through and then you mention your name and then continue with the test. starts with
We have Mr. Herbert Morrison here. Yes. Everybody here has given indication that he wants to serve on the board. But you know they are all tight in their schedules. And therefore, you go to them individually, they have given us assurance that they are ready for us. So do not worry. No worry.
So
We have Dr.
To proceed, the trustees here present, I would respectfully ask that you stand. And then, if you kindly repeat after me. I, having been appointed a trustee of the Friends of Mental Health, in the name of the Almighty God, do solemnly swear that I will at all times serve, uphold, preserve, and defend the Constitution of Friends of Mental Health. So help me God. So I believe that there is a form for you to sign subsequently. So if you may proceed.
There's nothing worth more that will ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, when my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. To be overcome by your presence, Lord.
Okay, then I wish you all the best in actualizing your vision and achieving your mission. Good luck.
Let's keep doing it for the lawyer, for administering the oath. For a moment, I thought we were in court. Thank you so much. Thank you. And a round of applause for our Board of Trustees here present for doing our awareness. In Sean, Ghana Chinese Chamber of Commerce, yes, I got it. Ghana Chinese Chamber of Commerce, please. A round of applause. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. Sam Bayan, Director Technical, Friends of Mental Health. Thank you, sir. This one, I will have to consult and come back. I can't really say it. I will definitely come back on this one, Mr. Chairman. At this moment, I would like to invite the Deputy Chief Executive Mental Health Authority to give us a speech. A round of applause as Dr. Caroline Elisa comes up.
much, Mr. MC, and good morning to you all. I'm happy to be here this morning to be part of this August gathering and to be part of this foundation, if you like, interested in mental health, because I'm coming from Mental Health Authority. I briefly want to apologize for the absence of our CEO. He asked me to stand in his shoes. He's on another assignment out of the country, and he's really happy to be part of this as well. I'll start by saying that mental health issues continue to be a worldwide problem, afflicting 1 in 5 persons directly. And in Ghana, we have a conservative estimate of about 2.8 people suffering from mental disorders, from mild to moderate illnesses. And I think our CEO gave us a little bit of the statistics when it comes to the doctor-patient ratio. We just have 3 inpatient psychiatric hospitals in the country, all located in the south. So you and I know that when it comes to coverage, we haven't done too much as a country. I would say that mental health has for decades been low in the priority of health planners at all levels. And this is well reflected in the quantity and quality of mental health services we have in the country. So the needs of our patients and families far outstrip the availability and accessibility of services for those with mental disorders countrywide. Unfortunately, our scarce resources also contribute to this problem as a country. So it's not like we are not really interested, but probably when it comes to prioritization, we have been placed a bit low on the scale of events. The delivery of mental health services in Ghana is undoubtedly fraught with numerous challenges, foremost among them being poor or non-sustainable funding, and then the lack of adequate medication, as well as inadequate number of personnel, largely psychiatrists, psychologists, and occupational therapists in the public health service. To compound our challenges, almost all mental health inpatient beds are located in our 3 mental health specialized or tertiary hospitals, if you like, some of which were built in our colonial days and have not seen any major infrastructural renovation. I think the CEO bore evidence to that when they went around the 3 hospitals to see for themselves. These challenges has given rise to some unacceptable wide treatment gaps for mental disorders in the country, more especially so in our rural areas, in the northern regions especially, and particularly among the socially disadvantaged. The Mental Health Authority has been in existence for about 3 years and is striving to curb these teeming challenges confronting mental health delivery in the country by implementing the dictates of the Act, the Mental Health Act, which was passed in 2012, Act 846, with a focus on community care. To this end, the authority seeks to increase access to mental health care through its various stakeholders, mainly the Ghana Health Services, Christian Health Association of Ghana, quasi-government facilities, as well as private facilities and NGOs in the country to ensure equity in the spread of mental health services across the country. It is additionally working with other key players like traditional and faith-based healers to protect the human rights of persons suffering from mental illness. There is also a deliberate attempt to create awareness by educating the populace on mental health disorders in a bid to reduce, or better still, eliminate the stigma and discrimination attached to mental illness. It is expected that this will empower Ghanaians and allow them to promptly seek care when confronted with such conditions. It must be mentioned that funding plays a very crucial role in realizing these and the many goals the authority seeks to achieve in improving coverage and ensuring quality mental health care for all. We are grateful to government for its commitment and support towards mental health. The authority has been able to appoint regional mental health coordinators to coordinate mental health activities throughout the regions. And currently, as we speak, we've been able to post at least 1 community psychiatric nurse to all our 216 districts. We continue to advocate for the establishment of mental health wings and units in all our regional and district hospitals as we speak. We appreciate government's role and continued support for mental health service delivery. We also recognize that government alone cannot do it all. And since there remains a lot to be done, we are happy that Friends of Mental Health is an NGO that is coming up to fill some of these important gaps that have been recognized in the delivery of mental health services in the country. Indeed, historically, NGOs we know have played a critical role in promoting and facilitating health and educational activities in the country to complement government efforts. They are driven by a passion towards a particular cause, backing it up with commitment and drive. While the reach of their work cannot parallel that of government agencies, the quality of care and their efforts in reaching out to various stakeholders, particularly those who are disadvantaged and or discriminated against, in this case, such persons as mentally ill persons, give them a distinct advantage in what they do. The story of mental health in Ghana has always been told from the darker corner of our institutional existence, yet we have always had the hope in the age-long cliche, there is light at the end of the tunnel. So today, as we inaugurate another NGO in mental health, we see this light shine ever so bright. We welcome the Friends of Mental Health into the fray and trust that the leadership of this organization dwell by the inherent and intrinsic values of NGOs, which are broadly categorized as working in partnership, being innovative in practice, and applying transparency in administration. It is our hope that Friends of Mental Health will ensure smooth and efficient collaboration with other stakeholders in mental health, particularly other NGOs such as Basic Needs, MESOC, Mind Freedom, the Ghana Mental Health Association, and the many NGOs who have in various ways worked with the authority to support and promote various aspects of mental health care in the country. To conclude, Mr. Chairman, we urge government and its agencies to take note of the public health implications of mental health disorders, the existing barriers in providing organized services for the mentally ill, and to provide recognition and support for such NGOs in mental health. We believe that given a favorable climate, the NGO movement in mental health would not be a sporadic or an isolated phenomenon as has been in the past, but a more enduring and unified force in bringing a positive change to the mental health landscape. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And before I take my seat, I'd like to say that there will be a documentary for us to get to know exactly what it feels like and what it is to suffer from a mental illness and what can be done to help such persons, to also enlighten us and for us to know that we are not in the wrong place. If we care about humanity, we need to care about our mental health state in the country. Thank you very much.
Let's do it again for Dr. Elisa, Deputy Chief Executive Mental Health Authority. Thank you so much. So, as Dr. Elisa said, it's going to be a documentary. In a split second, we are going to turn this place into a theater and watch a movie, a little movie about mental health. Grateful that you are here. We've watched this. A round of applause for all of you. Stay with us. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I would like to do a few more acknowledgements. I want to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Sajid Khan, the General Manager at Tank Palace Hotel. Round of applause. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And if you look at the brochure at the back, they have given us this place for free. A round of applause once again for Tank Palace Hotel. Mr. Frank Emis Atete, First Atlantic Bank, is here with us. Yeah, thank you, sir, for coming. And then we have Sydney Rich Okwe, Zenith Bank, Ghana Limited. Thank you, sir, for coming. Eric Afram is also from Zenith Bank. Yes, thank you, Zenith Bank. Professor Angelo Furiata, University of Ghana School of Medicine and Dentistry, is here with us. Doctor, thank you so much for coming. We have here Linda Asamoah, Ghana Psychology Council. I hope I got it right. Thank you very much for coming. Derek Bano, SBG, is here with us. Mr. Derek Bano, thank you so much, sir, for coming. And then the one I needed to consult on is Noel Atai, a partner, Morrison and Associates. Noel, you here? Yeah, thank you so much for coming. I would like us to invite our chairman to launch the NGO. With a round of applause, let's welcome our chairman. We need to launch the NGO, declare it launch. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the honor and privilege once again. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the CEO, Friends of Mental Health, the Deputy CEO of Mental Health Authority. I think we've all watched this short clip on the mental health condition of just one person who represents probably the 2.8% of those who are stricken by this health problem. It's a worry for all of us, and I can appreciate the silence, and that the silence was not a silence of comfort, but a silence of anxiety, worry, and care. Looking around, probably searching down deep our souls to see whether there is something that we can all do. The Deputy CEO of the Mental Health Authority gave us some hope, but she also gave us some blue picture about the situation. It's a worrying situation that even within the Mental Health Ministry, Minister of Health, mental health, as far as ranking is concerned, on the ladder, takes a very low place. And that is how it is reflected in the way, in the state of the mental health facilities. Though, as low as just 3 in the country, still our hands is unable to go around and give it the attention that it needs. So if our health facilities have been, say, 6, or we have had 1 in each region, which comes to 10, what will be the state of it? And that is where the necessity for NGOs to come and also occupy some of the sections of the space that have been left for us to be able to do something. It is in this regard that I'm personally happy that this NGO has been established, and I want to congratulate the CEO who by just listening to a radio program, just thought that something different could be made. It comes from just one idea. That one idea, and I read a book that gave me an understanding that anything that you think about or you imagine is in reality existent in the astral world. But that what you need to do is to bring it into the world of boundaries and physical existence. So drawing it from there, you start by putting it on the paper. And from the paper, you lift it off and for something to happen. And so just like a seed, it begins to germinate and it gives its fruits. And today we are seeing the germination of a fruit that has started with one person, taking the form of an NGO, which, by what we have seen, going to give hope to people that normally would have neglected and thought that they were a menace to society. And I felt excited when I saw the woman now has grown plumpy with nice hair, and her family was now prepared with someone to embrace her back, well integrated into her family. What it means is that there are many of them who with little care could be integrated back into their families. And that is why I feel greatly honored and indeed privileged to declare the Friends of Mental Health duly launched. And I will say that all
Let's do it again for our chairman. open forum. If there are any comments, contributions, supporting statements, things that you wish to share, this is the time. You just have to put your finger up, and then I'll invite you to the microphone. Open forum. Any questions? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Followed by you. So let me get like 2 more, then we can go 3, and then 4. Thank you very much. So 1, please come. Round of applause as he comes on stage.
Chairman, I think we have demonstrated well that people who are mentally ill, when they get the right treatment, can come back. But sustainability, mentally ill people, when they are treated and discharged, they need to be monitored continuously. Otherwise, our people will say that it is Baye or something, and it will come back. They are not aware of these things. And generally, this group has been established today on lunch. We should go round, maybe Central Ghana, Kumasi, up north, where people are critically in need of understanding and perception of mental illness. Secondly, it looks as if people are not aware of the good things you are doing. As I suggested last time, you should get people who will publish your success stories, and this should be circulated in the country bi-monthly or quarterly or bi-yearly or whatever, so that if it is sustained, people will, feel free to support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. 2, yes, please.
Thank you so much, Chairman and friends of the mentally health patient. And thank you for Dr. Nana Okansi Esando. The name is Okansi Esando. I want to tell you a small story of myself and my family about mental health and how it has taken us up to this time. In 1999, I was the chief executive of Ghana Healthcare. I was then developing the health insurance in Ghana. But before that, I was a member of the Senate board representing Ghana Employers Association. And I was on the board when the board found out I have knowledge in health insurance. They decided to recruit me to start the program. Then the CEO of SNIT gave me an invitation from Pantan Hospital that they are looking for financial assistance. And I just looked at it, I said, okay, where is Pantan? Then they directed me to the priest. So one afternoon I drove to the priest and met a doctor in charge, the director in charge called Dr. Aloti. And I found him to be a Viking. I'm also a Viking from Mesa Sabaho. So we became friends, and then we started working together. I didn't have any serious feeling until in the course of the year, I went to my hometown to chair a church harvest. We were just at the harvest, and then my senior in the elementary school, when I was in class 6, he was in Form 4. Very handsome, tall man, very neat. All of a sudden, we saw him in town with the buta, the one that you use it for prayers, with water inside, and he would come to you and pour some little water on you all around. And we saw that he was joking. Then it was serious. And I, the chairman of the occasion, he came and poured some on my head and went around. So the young men grabbed him. In fact, with a very big effort before they grabbed him, tied him down, and he was in the sun throughout the whole harvest period. So when we closed, it was, what do we do? And lo and behold, my niece, who is a businesswoman, decided to hire a small bus with some relatives and drove all the way from Central Region, my hometown, Ekumfi, up to Pantan Hospital. And when they were going, I slipped a small note for Dr. Aloti. He went there for 5 days, 5 days. And this man came back home, and since then, he's saying he's doing everything. Then I said, wow, so what do we do? And all of a sudden, me and my family, we decided to work with Pantan. And since 1999, we have been working in our own small way with Pantan. We spend 1 day of our life, only 1 day out of the 365 days, we spend only 1 day, the whole family with Pantan, and that is 1st January every year. We do little things which I'm not prepared to talk about. But I went to Tennessee, where Dr. Aloti was trained, and I saw something which we have started today, and that is what has touched my heart. There was a meeting of all the mental and other problems, those who do the care. And then a lot of foundations and NGOs came, and the NGOs and the homes presented their budget. And all of a sudden, the various foundations and various big companies got up. I take this, I take this, I take this. And within 26 minutes, they raised all the funds needed to the extent that they had surplus, and they said that they were going to use it to help other countries or other states in the States. And they told me that that is where Dr. Aloti was getting a lot of help to help Pantan Hospital. In fact, during his time, we had some of the wards we were calling Shangri-La. Madam, I don't know whether you know that there used to be some ward in Pantan called Shangri-La. And you go there, and in those days, it was far neater than any hospital in Ghana. We can also do it. And it has never occurred to me that apart from the little thing that we were doing, we should have something like that. So when Nana talked to me about this, fantastic, my gracious Lord. It was so good for my heart and that of my wife and my family. So please, I'm appealing to all of you. Let us make this program success. It's coming from God. It's coming from Allah, and we should all contribute. And one day, Ghana, whenever we set a small fire, we set it for the whole of Africa. This time, let us do it well in Ghana, and then let other people come and copy us. Chinese, when they started their development, it was like a fire, small from one place, and now it's almost engulfed the entire nation. And maybe today, the beginning from Ghana. I thank you, Nana, and the trustees and those who started this. It has been a big problem for me and my family since 1999. And now we have partners. Let us all do something like what we saw here, and like the story I told you about that, my senior. Thank you very much.
My name is Godwin from GBC. In fact, watching this documentary, it's like a reminder to me. I was reminiscing an experience I encountered some time ago, just out of my own volition to help a mental challenged person. And this is how it goes. Somewhere around 2012, by then I was a student in Legon. Then my brother my younger brother who used to stay with me, a footballer, every evening he goes on road, jogging. And that was his home, under the bridge. My younger brother used to do his physicals there. And by whatever means, they became friends. So every evening, from school, when we prepare our small food, my brother would tell me, I have a friend, so I want to send some of the food there. And we used to do that out of, the church we attend. where love is so much preached, where there is the title is Let Love Lead. I believe some of you know what's the church. That is a synagogue church of all nations. So we started feeding the person. One day I came from lectures one morning only for my brother who sent, we prepared, I remember, some some rice balls. So he sent the food to the man and I received the call. Godwin, Severin, that the man I brought the food to, I came and met him unconscious. And I said, how? Yes, he's here, so you come. So I had to rush there. I went and met the man unconscious with people around watching. So I asked him to we should pull him out of the road and then we place him somewhere. We were able to, resuscitate him. And first, I told my brother that let's report the case to the police before, if any help, we could then offer. My brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, to my surprise, when we went to Ashmata police station, I lodged a complaint. I told them whatever that we found. The police officer told me, so are you expecting us to come and take a mad person that you claim he's dead? And I said, oh, I think it is appropriate for me to come and launch this complaint. I found this person and I think it is under your jurisdiction. They said, you go and take him to wherever you think you can. We rushed back, took this person, we chartered a taxi, took this person to Pantan Hospital. Fortunately, in fact, I must salute Pantan, the staff of Pantan, they attended to us. But there were some wounds on this guy. So they had to give us ambulance to rush him to Kolebu Hospital. At Kolebu Hospital, those who left us there, we struggled before getting a bed for this man because nobody even wanted to attend to him. We struggled, we got there around, after Kolebu, they said they didn't have a bed for him. We went to Rich Hospital, they also said they didn't have a bed for him. We had to go back to Kolebu, then they offered us some chair for him to sit. We went home, the next day, we rushed there again to check on him. We had to struggle for over 5 hours before they gave us the bed. After that, we went home. Then the next day I had lectures. I told my brother to go and check on him again, which he did. When he got there, they said we should contact the social welfare. So I told my brother I will be coming from lectures to that place. We went there. To my surprise, I thought social welfare could have done something. I don't know if the staff is here. Social welfare couldn't help the situation. In fact, it got some point, my brother became disappointed and asked me, so what do we do? Out of love, I said, let's exercise patience. We have started it. Let's see where it will end. Then my brother's fear was, in case the man dies, the law will catch up with us. I said, the God that we serve, and we are not doing it out of any evil, God will see us through. And now Pantan is aware of the situation. We reported to the police first. So we did that.
So the final analysis?
Yes, I'm sorry, it's a long narrative though, but let me just narrate here. So we were in the house one day, they called us that we should come, there was an NGO who came to help the man. So we went, when we got there, they told us that, oh, it wasn't an NGO, they just wanted us to take our man away. So if you check, I wrote a report, I think it should be in your documents. So we had to take the man out, took him back to Pantan, and by the grace of God, Pantan received this man. And we used to visit him. We don't know him. After some time, he was able to tell us his name is Kweku. So we used to visit him from time to time. If you know, Francis, yes, Francis, I established this with him and we used to visit there. We called from time to time since 2012. It got some time. I was unemployed guy or graduate and all that. We also think maybe part time because they were calling us, so we thought they also wanted to release the person to us. And I said we don't only single room. We didn't know this man from anywhere. So we continue. We go there some time ago. Sometime to give him something. Just for I think 3 months ago, I was called again by Fantine. It's been a while that I visited there. That the person, my client, my relative is ready to be discharged. And I said, now I don't know his family. So what we can do is we have to look for ways and means to see if we can look for the family and reintegrate him. So looking at this program, I think it's a sign of relief, and I wished it was then.
Yeah.
So I thank the CEO and all the members, the volunteers of this program. In fact, I salute you all. And I will establish contact with you, then you follow up on my paper for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. A round of applause for this touching story. And so let me also put it on record. There are close to about 90 patients in that category, labeled vagrant. These are person with mental illness who we don't have traceable relatives. And so they come to us in the hospital and we receive them, we treat them. At the point of discharge, we can't discharge anybody onto the streets. And so for as long as social welfare is unable to reach any traceable relative, there are people that are with us, and we expend funds in their medication, their care, their feeding and all of that. And it's taking a lot from our scarce resources, but there's nothing we can do. We are managing day by day. A round of applause for management and staff at the hospital. Okay, so Mr. Chairman, a few more acknowledgements with your permission. Precious TV is covering this. A round of applause for Precious TV. And Ghanaian Times is here. Or is this a daily graphic? Ghanaian Times. All right. It's also here. A round of applause. Wow. And then we have Reverend Gershon and Mrs. Gifty Odai. Reverend Gershon and Mrs. Gifty Odai. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. At this moment on my program, I would call on lawyer to do us the honors and give out the certificates to the Board of Trustees who are here present during the swearing in. A round of applause as we receive our lawyer. And then admin and communication, please can you assist us? Round of applause. Thank you.
Alhaji Farouk Hamza.
There's nothing worth more that will ever come close. Nothing can compare.
Alhaji Abdul Rahim Salisu Angu.
Your presence,
Dr. Joseph Mensah Onuma.
the sweetest of love. My heart becomes free, and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord.
Then Dr. Caroline Emisa.
Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is
lastly,
what our hearts
Robert
long for.
David.
To be overcome by your presence, Lord.
We have also Dr. Siginadai.
That will
Professor Stephen Adai.
Nothing can compare. In your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen.
And I very much was disappointed when by the time I finished he was not there. I wanted him to sign my certificate. Maybe I'll design something else and bring it for signing so I can frame and hang on my wall. Round of applause once more. All right. At this point in time, membership drive. So there are forms that have been handed out, and so kindly we encourage that you become a friend of mental health, and so you take your time and fill them, and then a staff will come around to collect them at your earliest convenience. Thank you very much. Let me do a little consultation. I'll get back. Take it as a commercial break once more. Please help me. Let's welcome Professor Stephen Adai to say a few words. Go, please.
Good morning to all of you. First of all, let me apologize for my not being here early. I had actually told them that I wouldn't be here because I had accepted to speak to the church leaders in the Eastern region at Koforidua in the morning. So I was there when my elder brother, who has the right to command me whenever he chooses, though he doesn't exercise that right often to my liking, Morrison called me, "You must be here." So don't tell anybody else. I didn't have a convoy, but I've done it in less than 1.5 hours from Koforidua to here. I wish, I had a convoy to follow. Then I would do it for 1 hour. Bad boys and girls. On a more serious note, when just a few days ago I heard about this, and they invited me, I said I may not be able to come in the morning because I'd accepted, but I'm a convert to anything to support mental health. For example, one member of my family suffered from bipolar disorder, which threw him out of GF for about 10 years. He's now fully recovered. He is holding a responsible job and getting married. And I said that there are so many others who, because they are not the child of Stephen Adai, who have walked in the streets, been humiliated, and died a miserable death. And therefore, it is almost something. So when he told me, I didn't give him the reason. I said, whatever you are doing, I'm converted, I'm one of you. But come to think about it, if there's anybody in society whom we should support, is the ones suffering from mental health. When you have a stomach ache, you will go to the pharmacist. God forbid, if any one of us break their leg, they will be rushed straight to Kolebu or 37 nearby. Or you yourself will do something about it. The only person who cannot on their own do something about their illness is the mentally sick. And this is the reason why society must be willing, as our corporate responsibility, as a result of our common humanity. The first people we should be taking care of are those who have mental health, because they are the most vulnerable of all those who are sick. In fact, worse than poor people when they are sick, because when a poor person is sick, he may beg somebody, or a neighbor may have mercy on them. The sick, the mentally sick person. The other sad part is that we have forgotten that the brain is part of the body. And every part of the body sometimes gets sick. And yet, when you get sick in the brain, then we don't consider you as sick. It's either you are a witch or bewitched, or something like that. It's quite unfortunate. And whenever I see a mentally sick person walking in the street, sometimes totally naked, do you know whom we are indicting? It's me and you, from the president to the young person. That is why the indictment, that we constitute a people who don't even care for our own species. Yesterday I had come from Kumasi, so I was tired, but I saw Dr. Osei, the executive secretary of the Mental Health Authority, and he said something that I couldn't believe it. That in 2016, not a peso of government budget was dedicated to mental health. That was a year. Literally, millions were spent legitimately or in bribing people to vote. And we didn't spend as a people a peso in helping mentally sick people. I believe that there are many things that has to be done. We need roads, we need schools, we need factories, and all of them. But nothing will define our humanity as Ghanaians than what we do with the mentally sick. I therefore want to encourage all of us, and this is not going to be only a government must do, but everybody, because the mentally sick belong to families. Their husbands, their wives, their uncles, aunties, daughters, and sons. And I believe that everybody, not only the government, unfortunately, our type of governments behave as they are almost God. You know, I will do this for you, I will do that for you. And government by itself, at its best, doesn't do anything, but becomes a broker of what we represent collectively, taking our taxes and other things and using them, because there are certain things. It's impossible for us, each one of us, to build a road to Kumasi or to Kofodia. So that attitude, unfortunately, is not protected. I laugh at the MPs when they are campaigning. Oh, when you make me an MP, I will do this and this. For goodness sake, the Constitution doesn't give an MP that responsibility. They are to be lawmakers. Of course, they fought to get a common fund allocated to the marathon. That's not their business. And if we would restrict MPs to lawmaking, they themselves will be better off, because at this moment, after their math, everybody wants them to pay school fees, funeral. I don't know how they survive, because they said what they shouldn't say, because that's not a responsibility. But when it comes to the mental health people, I think that collectively we have a responsibility. The three arms of government, the Christian institution, the Muslim fraternity, all of us. And you know what? They don't need so much. If every Ghanaian just contributed 10 Ghana cedis, and here let me say every Ghanaian, including babies, because their parents can't even afford. We are getting to 30 million, about 28, but for the calculation, 30 million. We have 300 million, which is more than enough to take care of the mental health. And we don't need to pay even the 10 Ghana cedis at once. If we pay 1 cedi a month, it is actually more than the 10 cedis. We are called on these friends from the government for the social welfare for us all to resolve that from today, we will work not to see any naked person on the street because they happen to be unfortunate to have mental disease, dirty eating from the streets and other things. It is our common responsibility. As a Christian also, I'm very, very passionate about this because Jesus says that the poor you will not have, the Bible says, you will not have among you. It doesn't mean that there will be no poor person. It means that there will be vulnerable people. But he has already provided in every community and society sufficient to take care of those who cannot take care of themselves. With this, I want to encourage those who have started this. Please, this is not an NGO so-called for personal profit, but an NGO with a mission. And if it's that mission, then you can count on me. God be with us. Thank you.
Yes, once more, let's give it to our Prof. Thank you so much, Prof. Let me see, where are we in time and space? Checking my clock. Yes. At this moment, we will have to invite, join me as we welcome our chairman for his closing remarks. Round of applause.
Thank you very much. Let me once again also acknowledge Professor Siminadai. I met him in one function. He never knew that I also attended the same training college he attended. And I introduced myself to him. That's Sevilla's Training College, and we call ourselves Watikans. Watiko from Sevilla's. And that is the institution that has made me what I am today. Just one two acknowledgements. One is already gone. Mr. Sajid is here, is not here. He's a very good friend. But Professor Nana, from the University of Ghana, I'm not sure whether you remember you taught me. Angela, Dr. Angela. Professor Angela, I'm not sure whether you remember you taught me at the university. You had then come from outside, very new, and I was one of those students that you first met. The psychology department. That's good. So I combined Islamic studies and psychology. That's what I did. Yeah. Thank you very much. Please let's give one round of applause to the CEO and the members of the congratulations, and also congratulations to the Board of Trustees for accepting to undertake this very noble assignment, and listening to Professor Adai and what he has said in words of encouragement that should energize us to be able to push this to success. And I think that all those very encouraging words that we have heard from people who have been associated with this efforts to bring hope to those who are mentally challenged, those words were very, very encouraging. I think that the documentary that we have seen here is very touching. I'm sure we should look for an opportunity on the various television stations and show it. And I'm sure it will touch people, or if we can make some additions on this one, there are other cases that we can get so that we can get a bit of a stretch and show it on the, I'm sure the GTV, as part of their social corporate responsibility, would want to show this. If they are able to show other things that are unnecessary, I'm sure that this one will be something that we find necessary to show, and some of the other television stations, our radio stations, can all be used. The churches and the mosques, I think already we come along with huge resources, though we don't live up to expectation, but I think the religious space provides an opportunity for us to be able to tap into our sense of giving love and hope, both Christianity and Islam. Messages intended to turn people to spend more in charity, to give hope to the hopeless of society. And I think that we should look for those opportunities. I'm an imam, I give sermons, and I think it will not be a difficulty for me to use it as a subject of my sermon, to draw attention to this, for us to be able to raise some money. I think that public education is also very, very important. Probably we should be able to do some community outreach or establish some kind of community mental health kind of centers to look at not the therapeutic side of it, but probably the preventive side of it. I'm a teacher by profession, and I rose to now work at the management level. I just retired in January as a teacher, as a regional manager of Islamic schools. And so I have seen, even within the teaching profession, I have seen teachers who are mentally challenged. Sometimes I've wondered whether teachers come to school with the right frame of mind. Anxieties of life, difficulties of life. You can see somebody you thought should be able to teach well, is not behaving well, and all, you can find them. And just to prevent the happenings of this, we give our children, and school systems should guarantee the security and safety of children. So if the teachers who are even teaching your children are not sure their mental state, then you can understand the dangers you are putting even your children in. And it cuts across all the various professions. Even our soldiers, our police people, they handle weapons all the time. What's the state of their mind? So it's a matter that affects all of us, and I think all of us must be interested in this. So the public education aspect of it, for me, probably we can be organizing special fundraising across the year, certain special seasons within the year. If it's Christmas, if it's the Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Fitr, and all those things are moments for us to turn some of the extravagance, where we spend too much, even buying credit. Sometimes you cannot account for how much money you have spent on credit on unnecessary conversations. And I think one Ghana cedi out of your credit probably can go into this. And we should find a way by which those things that we can do is something that's exciting. So I'm happy. I want to thank you so much for your cooperation, and I hope and pray that this NGO will not be like other NGOs, will grow from strength to strength and will attract the attention of all well-meaning people. The point that the chairman, the CEO made was certain very important values that will keep going this. He mentioned integrity, he mentioned trust, and I want to add, sacrifice and true dedication to this institution will let it succeed. So on this note, let me say once again, I thank you so much for the opportunity to chair this very august and very important event. I hope that we have all enjoyed ourselves for the day, and hope that this thing will succeed. So thank you so much, and may Allah bless all of us.
At this moment, I would ask that you help me welcome Beatrice Dassin. Beatrice, a round of applause as she comes up. Come and thank all of us.
Thank you very much. We bless God for the day and the life that we've had. We are really touched by your presence and everything that you've done today. I would like to thank the Chief Imam for granting us the opportunity to have Sheikh Amiriya to come and chair this program. So we'd like to say thank you to Sheikh. And we'd also like to say thank you to Reverend Kafui Azuru from the Lighthouse Chapel for coming. We are also grateful. We'd like to say a big thank you to the Judicial Service. We are grateful to you. We would also like to say thank you to our Board of Trustees for taking time off your busy schedule. You are all very, very busy, so we are grateful that you are here. Then to our distinguished guests, we'd like to say thank you very much for coming. We'd like to say a big thank you to the Mental Health Authority, Dr. Caroline and her group. We'd like to say thank you very much for granting us the opportunity to have this program with you. We are grateful to everybody. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Consultations, I was doing some consultation. At this moment, we take an Islamic closing prayer. We started with a Christian prayer, we're going with an Islamic closing prayer. So to deliver that, sir, any Farouk Haji Farouk, please.
Thank you very much. We may remain seated, then I will lead us to pray. We thank you, Almighty Allah, for a beautiful day. We have had a wonderful interaction, and we ask that you be with us as we set out to implement some of the agenda we have put forward here. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, as-sirata allazina an'amta alayhim, غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين.
Thank you very much. And Beatrice is not here to do this for me, so I'll do it myself. It's the short code for the drive to raise funds. For MTN, it's movement number 0245881117. I'll take it slowly. 0245881117. And the short code at MTN. Okay. Okay, so I'm told that it's in the package that you have. Yes, this. Yeah, thank you. Everybody has this? Sure, all right. So I will shelve it once we have it. So that's the short code for MTN and then the Vodafone for you to be able to contribute easily. And then there's a Zenith account number, okay, at the bottom of it. So the bank is Zenith Bank, the account number, the account name is Friends of Mental Health. The account number is there, 6010182727. At this moment, let me see what we have. Okay, so right on time, we have 13 items, is rightly on item 13, as we probably call it. So we will take a group photo, and then we would have refreshment. So group photo. Camera, may please come in position as well, arrange as well. All of us is a group photo. So can we kindly please come on stage? Yeah, so the board.
He says, this thing, you all must follow you. We went to the sheikh or chief imam. You can also remember, Mamma Hamhukra, or no Ankasani vice president, the crowd around facilities Nanya into Obediachi. And who said, and we started talking internationally also. Your friends were Poland. You need to crack aside. All we now do with the Amasi information. And even your Papa has here, if Yakos here, if Kata. Also, my network, and Benyango for Bibri. It was a year, also international security level US. A friend got in that. Also, the Diama, they all want to serve on the patron council. Aside this, you know, so if say, Nipa Benebe was a Adenius area and go phone call. Because when you body, because I remember some Bonipa going, Obi any Mukum Hapa or media. Young person will be Obundia, or Casoya, will be a bit. But a man let her know, as I do with nature. But somebody like our CAF vice president, Kwesiantaji, lawyer Kwesiantaji, me call Hona, which no dean was Nana. I do in Finyame in IBDH. So we are appointed as international ambassador. And we are on and on going. And then I'm managed the FSN, the MBA super entem. Because Obia Nibedin Komobia, Essiadiano, Essi Piadiano. But you see, I'm passing about Russia, they're nice idea. You're able to meet here. Good. That's why I two in South Africa as a Muna Mumra. If you ever say, you beat me, is I didn't as soon as I die, as soon as a few. Yeah. Good. Any mental health authority for no. And no mean ID and Sawasopa. Do here. Say, or no mental health authority. Ya chuma ya normal number because I didn't know. Yeah, Diana Yasso. But technically, I didn't go to him. In the original, the papa so many mention. The technical issue be a bassa, no way. Yeah, aim to say a percent on budget for the year. We want to get it. So the mention as because we are corrans with the some ed pa. It is I we are technical as an man near jam no man can say pushy. Yes, as a person who yen in ebi and the enjuma.
Intina a futu no chair Dr. Kwesiok say our year chief executive Penipa or that mental health authority. I don't know. I can't pay was in the P. Brand year launching mental health week and say. They say no, Emram Mahoquine so Udi chamber 2 be 9. As I saw Yarna Drumunti. Emram Mahoquine crack. Intino, wow, be yes, no. Emran will be doing according to Mental Health Act 846 2012. Until Futu and Momu in as a yes, Romora. Chains need ye, in you film, a home edition nipana in you film. Bro, bro, a mouthful, as I saw my Bapria camp. So my baby, a pet, if anything, I are channel. And no, it came. Wow, be yes, I know. I'm running second, I'm running new bed in you. Until Sadia no Munyai.
Generally, I think it's a very wonderful initiative to establish the Friends of Mental Health, and the inauguration has been very successful. One of the very striking things is the composition of the Board of Trustees, and the Board of Trustees has attracted people of different professional backgrounds that relate to mental health, and there are people well placed and there are people of integrity, and the CEO himself has mentioned that the principles that will be the driving force behind the initiatives of the NGO are integrity and trust. And I think that these two principles will establish the trust, will make people take advantage of it. But probably what I will add is the need for us to engage in more of public outreach programs that will ensure that the larger community that is not very much aware of how to handle people with mental health challenges will be able to know. And they will also be given the hope to know that if one member of family or two or the other has a mental health challenge, he knows where to go to. And for me that, and the other thing that I also want to add is this NGO is an NGO that will be very activity oriented. It is service oriented NGO. And so therefore, resources will be something that will be needed a lot. And we should be able to take advantage of the religious communities, the churches and the mosques to assist in raising the necessary funds. We can also look at the period or seasons that provide an opportunity for us to be able to raise some money. That is some of the religious seasons, either Christmas, Easter, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha. Use it as an occasion to encourage people to raise funds, reduce some of the overindulgent way of the festivities, and channel more of the money into charity. And charity here, I'm referring to the Friends of Mental Health, so that we can generate more of the funds to be able to assist people who are challenged mentally. But generally, I think that I'm so excited. I'm so happy to be the one who chaired it. And if there's any support that we can all offer, I'm sure that I'm ready to also give my support. I pray that God will make the NGO very successful. Thank you so much.
The fact that the treatment gap is about 98%. What it means is that close to 100% of persons with mental disorder will not even have care. And that is worrying to the extent that logistics, to the extent that funding has not come for a whole year, 2016. If you check with the facilities, it could be that for 3 years running, funding has not been coming. And so he, listening to that, was touched, prayed about it, talked to friends, partners, and then the decision came that, well, why can't we form an NGO to help raise funding to support mental health? And that's what has brought us here today. So today, actually, what you've witnessed is the inauguration, the launching of the NGO, the inauguration of Board of Trustees. The reason why this is very important is that oftentimes when you find NGOs, people are skeptical. Oh, these are a bunch of guys who just want our money and then to buy themselves fast-moving vehicles and live in posh houses. And so that's why we have a whole Board of Trustees. They are the ones who are going to be managing the funds. The Secretariat itself will not have access to the funding. And these are eminent people. You've seen them. people with track record, proven track record, people who have integrity, coming as members of the board of trustees to make sure that whatever funds that are raised would only be used and expended for the cause of mental health, and that is to seek to improve mental health services across the country. We have a total of 20, but all of them could not turn up. We had about 12 thereabout trustees. Yes, 20. Yeah. And so we are in touch with the other people. It's just that busy schedules have kept them away. They very much would have wanted to be here. And so we'll get the oath, everything that has been signed to them to sign, and we're framing it for them to hang in their offices, and we'll keep them, reminded of the job that they have to do for mental health and for Ghana. Pleasure.
I'm really happy that this day has happened. Why would I say that? We all know that mental health is very important on our healthcare landscape. Unfortunately, like we all say, it has been marginalized through no fault of anyone. Any health planner would look at diseases that are fatal or that will cause mortality within the shortest possible time. Luckily, mental health doesn't have that landscape. But then again, let me add that when persons have other physical conditions, they tend to be mentally disordered, because if you are hypertensive, you may become depressed. A mother who has a child or goes to deliver may become depressed or may have postpartum psychosis. So we are all prone to mental disorders at one point or the other. As corporate people, as even family members, we are stressed. Sometimes we are anxious. Your daughter is supposed to go to secondary school. She hasn't gotten a posting, and you are stressed. You are anxious. What does it mean? It takes your resilience as an individual and your perception to life to be able to overcome it. If you are not able to overcome, sometimes you tip over to the other side. And if you don't have the support that we talk about, family support, workplace support, etc., sometimes you may end up like the other persons who we find in our institutions and on the streets. So for me, this day or this whole inauguration thing, it's a laudable idea, and I pray that we carry it forward. We are able to do a lot more. One of our main challenges has been advocacy. I pray that Friends of Mental Health will be able to help us to showcase what we do as an authority and what also needs to be done, the gaps in the system, so that other people can also get to come on board.
But ever since it remains dormant, what is the Mental Health Authority doing to ensure that it is fully implemented?
Okay, thank you very much. I won't say it's been dormant. Maybe we've been very slow. It's been about 4 years, if you like. It was established in 2012, but then it came into being as an authority in 2013. At the time, we didn't have the full complement of staff. Even as I talk to you, we still don't have the full complement of staff. So it's been a challenge. Government has been supportive. It's paid our staff, nurses, psychiatrists, etc. But there are still funds that need to do things or move things. For instance, if you look at the Act, there's a shift from medical care or institutional care to community care, and we don't have structures within our communities. So we have to start from ground zero to build structures, not physical per se, but even administrative structures. Currently, we've been able to only appoint 10, not only, but all our 10 regional mental health coordinators to coordinate mental health activities in our regions. But in addition to this, the Act mandates us to also establish visiting committees. These are committees within our regions that will oversee mental health activities. So they go around, visit institutions, visit prayer camps, any health facility or anybody who provides health or especially mental health, to make sure that people are being treated with dignity and respect, since we realize that mental health has been stigmatized and people have been discriminated against. So we haven't slept on our oars. Unfortunately, we don't have medicine. So when we do all these things and people come, the awareness is created and people come to the hospital, we realize that there's no money to feed them, to buy their medicines, etc. So it's like cause 90. You are putting in the structures and everything, but then where is the actual service delivery? We don't deliver institutions in the regions. The 3 hospitals that were mentioned, they are main remit for healthcare or health service delivery when it comes to mental health, but we are encouraging and we are collaborating with the Ghana Health Service and other institutions like Christian Health Association of Ghana. They are doing some very good work in the regions. All the child facilities are now providing mental health services. Also, we work with NGOs. Basic needs is typical. It helps us to work with people on the ground to reintegrate people back into their communities, but they are only present in a few regions, let's say about 3 regions. So probably the effect is not marked and you will not see. But we are still pushing, we are still negotiating with government. This year, luckily, we've been allocated some monies and hopefully we'll be able to procure some medicines, though it may not be enough. At least as a country, as a government, we have shown commitment and put some funding towards psychotropics. So I'll say that things are going, just that they have been a bit slow, and that is why maybe you see it as nothing being happening.
Thank you.